I'm Erica Blair with Iowa CCI, and as Jim mentioned, I'm going to discuss why CCI and Food and Water Watch filed this petition.
The master matrix is a scoring system included in factory farm applications, and it is supposed to give the community more protections from factory farm pollution.
The master matrix is a tool that applies to large CAFOs of 1,000 animal units or more. It was created to provide a review of environmental and community risks and give counties a greater voice in the permitting process.
But what we've seen in the past 15 years since the master matrix has been created, that's not really how it works.
Applicants only need to earn a score of 50% to pass, which is such a low bar that applicants are not actually taking meaningful steps to reduce negative impacts.
Communities really don't have a voice in this process still. Only 2% of applications have been denied by the DNR. So today we are asking them to strengthen the master matrix so that it does work better for everyday Iowans. Today we are talking to the Environmental Protection Commission. They are the panel that oversees the DNR.
According to Iowa State University, the manure put out by Iowa's animals is equal to manure of 45 million people. That is 15 times Iowa's population.
Modifying the master matrix rules is a step in the direction of assuring the original intent of the master matrix legislation, a step aimed to eclipse a downward worsening spiral of Iowa's air and water quality caused, at least in part, by existing practices related to the siting of confined animal feeding operations.
DNR's analysis is fundamentally flawed in that it sets out the current matrix, which is so feasible that it is virtually meaningless, as the basis for comparison. The status quo is the problem, and it is not appropriate or a good logical starting point for DNR's review. DNR provides no actual evidence or argument that any of the proposed criteria are difficult to satisfy.
More than 15 years later, many in this room find it clearly evident the master matrix is not working and has outlived its usefulness. The Iowa legislature is also failing in its role of oversight in all things agricultural.
I'm speaking on behalf of the Iowa Environmental Council. We support the petition to reform Iowa's master matrix. Changes in the matrix are long overdue, as it has failed to fulfill its purpose of giving counties and communities a voice to assure that the permitting process for concentrated animal feeding operations provides reasonable protections for all Iowans and the resources that we pass on to future citizens. Water utilities are struggling to provide safe drinking water. These problems are growing worse in many areas where animal feeding operations are locating and or rapidly expanding with inadequate consideration of impacts to important resources. The master matrix functions primarily as it is as a smokescreen to offer a semblance of protection for neighbors' health and water resources, including local wells, recreational lakes, and trout streams that represent significant public and private investment.
In 2002, I was one of the 12 legislators who met behind closed doors and came up with this bill that eventually created the master matrix. This was done by an intern in 2007 and 2008. You need to just review the data to see it's out of date, it needs to be updated, and you need to listen to the voices of the people who are saying that there is a real problem. You need to do something. This is very much out of date.
Why nurture, subsidize, sustain, and maintain these abominable pig prisons? Earth's truth. In 7 simple words, Earth first in things, thoughts, deeds, decisions. Big ag, big pig, big cow, big corn. They're not part of Earth's truth, and neither is the Farm Bureau.
Do you think twice before drinking Iowa water? Do you think twice before you drink from the tap? Do you go out and buy fancy filters and put them in your home? Do you drink bottled water? Do you serve bottled water at parties because you're worried about giving it to your kids and your grandkids?
I find it ironic that they gave local control on fireworks, but not on hog farms. If one of these things is located next to me and they can come right next to my property line if they're underneath the matrix, and we see it continuously, the threshold is 2,500 animals. We see permits applied for all the time for $24.99. If I was you all, I'd be insulted that they're playing a game with that. It's human nature to find a way around rules. You build a 35-foot wall, somebody has a 36-foot ladder. This is appalling. It's absolutely appalling. Why is there even a question? It's all about profit. Money first, the heck with the rest of us.
The CAFOs that exist as of April of 2017. Since then, there are 5,000 more that have been discovered by the DNR that are not under any kind of control by the master matrix. So I submit to you, this master matrix is a screenplay for some dystopian future that you have control of for the citizens of Iowa.
Our human manure is treated. Hog manure is not. How many factory farms are too many? The number we have right now. I believe our situation is desperate right now.
I am not anti-farmer. Many of us are farmers. We are anti-factory farms because bigger is not better. Iowa farmers are trapped in a system where pollution is guaranteed. What we really need is a moratorium. I don't think this petition is strong enough. I think we need to call for a moratorium because I drink water. You are the Department of Natural Resources and the Environmental Protection Commission. Who are we protecting? Are we protecting factory farms or are we protecting our water? Obviously, there's a problem if we have 750 plus impaired waters. That's from the DNR website. We need our elected and appointed representatives to represent us, represent Iowans, represent our water, because without it we have nothing.
The master matrix was created by Iowa Code, let me get this right, section 459.305, subsection 2. That code says, DNR, you must create a master matrix. But when you create that master matrix, you must make it so that it is feasibly allows for a passing score. That's the first problem with ICCI's petition. It doesn't feasibly allow for a passing score. For today, the DNR's position is that this petition must be denied. Thank you.
Who are you representing? Who are you protecting? And what side of history would you like to be on? Thank you.
Your options at the end are for somebody to make a motion to adopt or deny the recommendation of the Department of Natural Resources.
Accept the DNR's findings and to deny this petition.
I'm going to second that.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. Do we have any further discussion from the commission? Seeing none, we'll have a roll call vote.
Mary Vogt?
Yes.
Joe Riding?
Yes.
Bob Sinclair?
Yes.
Ralph Lentz?
Yes.
Rebecca Gwynn?
Yes.
Nancy Kauser?
Yes.
Howard Hill?
Yes.
Barbara Hovland?
Yes.
Chad Ingalls?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Who do you represent? Mike Chen! Mike Chen! Citizens of Iowa! Citizens of Iowa! Are sick and tired! We're sick and tired! Do nothing clear! Nothing clear! The DNR! The DNR! EPA! EPA! Governor Reynolds! Governor Reynolds! The Iowa legislature! Have turned their backs! Have turned their backs! On us, our water, and our air! On us, our water, and our air! This is not over! This is not over! We will keep fighting! We will keep fighting! To make sure our water works for the people! Works for the people! And bring money corporations! We'll be back! They don't be back again! They won't fight! They clean it up! They dump it! You drink it! We won't stop till they clean it up! They dump it! You drink it! We won't stop till they clean it up! We'll be back! We'll be back! We'll be back!
We will keep fighting until we have clean air and water in Iowa.